Welcome to Take One Talk, a podcast with suggestions and topics made up on the spot, and Take One has to deal with the chaos. Make sure to send in your comments and questions to our social media at Take One Improv so we can talk about it on our show. Now, get ready to take off your pants and piss yourself.
Hello! Welcome to episode 9 of Take One Talk, your favorite podcast all about the group Take One. So, who is Take One? Take One is a group of weirdos. We do improvisational comedy all over the United States of America.
Meaning that we play pretend for no monies.
None. Negative.
None, negative monies. We sometimes end up paying money so people will watch our art.
Sometime. Art.
Art.
And so this podcast is just the group, us, Take One, kind of talking like how we normally talk, but we decided to film it because...
You know, like everybody does, where they're like, oh, me and my friends, we should just have a camera on it. We actually did it, and that somehow feels worse.
Oh, yeah. We need you to tell us that we're good people.
Yeah.
You asked for this.
You did ask for this.
Mm-hmm. You did.
No, you didn't. Nobody asked for this. Nobody asked for
One person on TikTok is.
Yep, no, they've asked for this now. Anyways.
Yeah, so how are... Oh, my name's Christian Harris. I'm joined by...
Danielle Phillips.
And I'm Corey Phillips.
We're not brother and sister. We're married.
Why did you assume that was the first question they had?
Well, they looked at me and Danny, and they were like, "Are they brother and sister?"
Yeah, that makes you seem more guilty. Like,
yeah, I know.
We're not related.
I'm not his sister wife.
We're not related. We're not.
Why would you even think that?
Yeah, this isn't being filmed in Arkansas. Why would we do that?
We don't have the same dad.
No.
Listen, we look like we could be related.
I just love that you looked at TikTok and was like, "We're not related."
We're not. Promise.
Okay, well, I was going to ask how you are both doing. I think we know how Danny's doing.
Yeah.
Yep, it's Sunday.
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Bought a new laptop for Danny for Christmas, and we got a monitor for it, and then we went and did some horse stuff.
Yeah, we did horse stuff.
We did horse stuff.
Horse butt stuff.
Horse butt stuff. And then I learned a new whip trick where I can grab something and like pull Indiana Jones style.
I'm better at it.
No, it wasn't in the end.
I am.
I ended up being better at it.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we're gonna have to set up some like I was gonna say bottles and cans, but they have to be kind of heavy.
Yeah.
We'll have to set up some obstacles, whatever, to like
You can do like
try it.
Targets.
Targets.
I think you're looking for targets.
Oh,
Targets,
yeah.
We'll have to set up some targets and try it out.
Yeah.
Set up some items in the store Target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or just hit people in Target.
Yes.
Even more fun.
And be like those YouTube pranksters.
Yeah, look, they're the real live Pokemon trainers. You just catch someone like, "You're mine."
You're mine now. Fight for me.
Fight for me.
That's all of human history.
I'm building an army.
But yeah, no, it's been good. Like a lot of stuff that I've been in, I finally like got to announce. Like like the Chuck E. Cheese commercial I was in.
Yeah.
Came out and like
such a bright dad.
So I was actually wearing like colored clothing, which is weird. I normally this is normally what I am.
Yeah.
And
that's the commercial where you had to run home from a con, right? You went directly from a con to do that.
film that.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what's wild is that was probably one of the most chaotic sets I've ever been on.
Really?
Because there were like I want to say like I might be exaggerating, but there were like 15 like kids on set. And if you want a formula for chaos, put 15 kids in a live Chuck E. Cheese and tell them they can't play any of the games for 12 to 14 hours.
Yeah.
Like that is a recipe for disaster. And it was wild.
Just having kids around for 12 to 14 hours is a lot.
Already a lot.
Remember the one that tried to get under the...
Oh, I was getting there. I'm getting
okay.
it. So my favorite crown jewel of this experience was by day 2 it's just wild. And so I'm in the bathroom and I'm using to escape everything. So I go to the bathroom just to escape everything. So I'm sitting on toilet pants down. like, you know,
That's usually how you sit on a toilet.
pretending to take a shit.
Yeah.
It's what I'm doing. And so I'm sitting in there, and then all of a sudden, this is a Chuck E. Cheese stall, so it's not very big.
No.
This little head comes up from underneath the stall, and it's like, hello! And I'm like, get out! Because he's like, his head is right next to my thigh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get out! So he's like, oh, okay, and like leaves. And so I'm like, well, my piece is ruined. So I pull up my pants and buckle my belt. Oh, by the way, my fly is unzipped.
Ooh, that was an 18 plus
18
rated stream.
plus.
Wow.
And so, so then I leave the bathroom, and the bathroom was like situated at the back of the building, and there was a door open at the back of the building where they were taking
Camera equipment.
camera equipment in and out. And that kid had gone through that door and was just making a beeline across the parking lot. So I go up to his mom and was like, hey, your kid's making a vie for freedom. And she runs out. And it was,
He does this all the time.
He's just...
Was that the same kid who got asked to leave the shot?
No, it was a different kid.
Oh, okay, different child.
Yeah, different kid.
I love that there was a child on set and they were in the background of the scene.
I look insane.
That's probably... Yeah.
And just, they just...
Probably shouldn't talk about that story.
Oh.
That doesn't paint certain people in good lights.
But if we go back to last week's episode, we all know how Corey feels about children.
Children now, no.
Yeah.
Go back and
Corey.
watch, go to takeoneimprov.com or Take One Improv on YouTube, and you'll find how I truly feel about children.
It's a 3-hour expose.
Yeah. It just exposes your hatred.
For those, and we have TikTok going. For those that are watching on TikTok, stop having children. This has been a PSA from Corey.
Stop having children.
Stop having children.
We still love you, YouTube. Also, this is going out on Spotify and Amazon.
Right now to Spotify?
No, but it will.
They get it delayed.
It'll come out tomorrow.
Okay.
I get it tomorrow, like Monday afternoons to evenings, depending on how I feel.
Gassy.
So, always.
On a Monday? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
So are we ready to get into it?
Well, I didn't ask Danny how she was doing.
Oh, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I got to ride my horse today, which I like.
Okay.
Yesterday, I had a full body massage
By a horse.
by a horse.
By a horse.
It was really nice, and the whole
Nova
time,
is talented.
Yeah.
the whole time I was getting this massage, I was like, I should do this more often.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it like the most adult thing is like doing something like self-care, like taking
Yeah.
care of yourself, and then being like, I should do this more often, and then being 3 years before you ever do it again.
It was literally
Yeah.
3 years since the last time I've ever had a massage.
Yeah.
And I've had them maybe like once before.
No,
There's a
Like-
go.
Well, I was gonna say I bought a massage gun specifically so Caroline could to give her massages as well, but my back hurts a lot, and so I was like, oh man, it would be nice to
He bought a massage gun specifically for his girlfriend for purposes.
for
Is
health
that's what we
purposes.
call it now? Massage gun?
Yeah, massage gun.
I do love massage guns.
It is.
Yeah.
It is literally the shape of a gun. It's
Yeah, they vibrate really well.
okay.
And she doesn't use it on you as much as you'd like?
No.
No, she's very attentive.
Yeah, very
Glad.
soft about it. Eases into it and then gets the deep tissue.
So we here at Take One and Take One Talk, we've had kind of a busy weekend, So Friday we had our holiday special. So if you're watching this or listening to this and you haven't watched that, and it will be coming out on Spotify as well, probably sometime this week. But yeah, give that a listen, give that a watch. It was a lot of fun. We brought in Kayla, who's another Take One member.
Big ball of chaos.
Big
Yes.
ball of chaos. We brought in
a real
Jessica
nutcracker.
Slice, who
Also
is,
another big ball of chaos.
yeah.
They both have beautiful smiles.
They're both very, very sweet, wonderful people. But as soon as you give them D&D characters, they do go a bit chaotic.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
I was not expecting it from Slice.
I wish I could grind it up and snort it.
My favorite part, I don't want to give anything away, but she definitely had in her character, we give a short character description at the beginning.
Yeah.
She laid out her character, and then the first thing she did was kind of juxtaposition to that, but it also made so much sense because you say you are one thing and then you go out into the world and do something else, and everyone's like, yep, that's how they are.
Well, so I actually rewatched the first 40 minutes of it today just to see what it was like. And we did a good job, first of all. We're amazing. And, but no, I actually, because we made that same comment that night. And then I watched it. Kayla instigated it.
Oh, did she?
She did, and Jessica did a really good improv yes and. Kayla was like, "No, just stay back. You don't get too close to him." And she was just like, "Oh no, here's my opportunity to create chaos." And she did a really great job. I thought it was very, very funny.
I love that you're like, I've described one person in this area for you, and you guys are attacking. Not attacking them, but like we jumped on him.
You did. It was very funny. Like Kayla was like, "Why? I don't understand why he exists." I'm like, "Well, because people exist that aren't necessarily important to what you're doing. It's just."
I think it was more that you spent more time describing him than anybody else, and that's usually denoting it in D&D.
He hadn't gotten to anyone else yet.
Yeah,
oh, that's right. He was the first one.
To anyone
That's
else.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I described one person, and you all just jumped on it. I was like, "Okay, I'll just see how this plays
Maybe
out."
you should have yes-anded us, and he abducts us all.
Yeah, I did yes and you. I was giving you all opportunities to roleplay. That was my goal for that little section.
Listen.
And then I did abduct you because when you fell asleep, I was like, "Oh, here's a good opportunity to have him just disappear."
Yeah, she's lulled me to sleep.
Yeah. And then last night we had our Christmas live show at the theater and at Stomping Ground. That was a great amount of fun. We had
a family. It was one of my favorite human beings. It was her birthday.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she came all the way from Lubbock, so like 6 hours, and that was
As her birthday gift. That's what she wanted.
yeah, that's
for
what she wanted for her
birthday.
birthday, was come see our show, and I was super excited about that.
And we got to meet
Yeah.
because usually it's just the dad and daughter duo.
yeah,
Yes.
And they brought the whole family. It was really, really sweet.
yeah, I loved
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
loved it.
They watched like our show. They watched the Funny
I
Fellas.
wasn't going to do the show, and then I ended up doing the show because they were there. So
Yeah, Corey was out.
We didn't
I
want
had-
to rob them of that experience.
Yeah, I had to kill one of my other members. It was
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Just-
Yeah,
Wow.
R.I.P. Liz.
R.I.P.
We
Liz.
love you. But they also watched the show before ours too. They just had a full night. Of,
Yeah.
Spaghetti and
Com-
confetti. Yeah.
Comedy.
Yeah, it was
fun.
great. Okay, cool. So this is the point in which we have an awkward silence because we have nothing else to talk about, and then we jump into our individual segments. So would any of us like to go first?
I'll go first because mine's real easy. So this segment is like fandom specific side knowledge is what I'm going to call that for now until I forget the name of the segment and then name it something else. So one of my favorite things I've learned about recently, and for those of you that don't know, and if you follow me on social media whatsoever, you know that I have been real hyped about the fact that I am one of the lead characters in a little show called MF Ghost on Crunchyroll. I voice the voice of Shun Aiba, and it is the continuation of the Initial D saga, and I am so stoked to be a part of it because for those of you that don't know at home, and for those of you watching on TikTok,
Who are not at home.
that are not at home, you guys are out and about. My very first anime that I was aware that I was watching an anime was Initial D, and I was a huge fan as a kid. Like I used to have a little license from the arcade game that you could like get different cards. Like
I wish they still did that.
I know, I wish they did too, but the cabinet, I think they stopped doing it at cabinet 6. No, I still think they had like the licenses, but they weren't the custom licenses that used to be. Like you used to be able to like design your character in the arcade cabinet, and I think they stopped doing it after like cabinet 4 or 5. I can't remember which one it was. But 6 and 8 had a license, but it was like a really boring one because it was the only way to keep track of the modifications you did on your car.
Okay.
The only reason the one at round 1 doesn't do it is because it's no longer the site is no longer being kept up. Like
Okay.
The server went down.
the server's down.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm assuming they're probably with the advent of MF Ghost, they're going to be creating a whole new cabinet. Because
That'd be great.
yeah, I assume that's why they're going to dedicate those servers to the new MF Ghost cabinet.
Perfect.
Are you gonna lose it when that happens?
I'm going to super lose it because
Are we gonna have? I
'cause-
need to know. Are we gonna have to own one of those?
Did you know Shun Aiba is in a cabinet?
What?
He's in cabinet 8. You can play.
Wait, the cabinet that we saw. It's not.
He's in there.
He's in there? We
him
didn't-
and Kanata are both in there.
Really?
You can-
Did you play him?
I can't navigate the menus because it's Japanese. But it's in there. I know that part of that game is the MF Ghost storyline.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also noticed that he didn't answer your question.
What?
Are we
gonna
gonna-
have to, no, because we have nowhere to put it. They're huge.
okay.
They're massive,
I just
and they're
figured I'm-
super expensive.
I just figured
I
I'm
know.
gonna have to eat on it. Like I'm gonna like
know,
I'm
yeah.
gonna have to like get in there and be like
It's like, oh, I guess we don't have a bed anymore. Just have to
just
sleep
hold my
on
little
top of this
bowl
cabinet.
and just like eat it.
What up?
Yeah.
Nice to see you. It's been so long. Paige from KC. Hey, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's been forever. I want to come back to Kansas City. But anyways,
Also, someone else.
Chris
R.
R.
Voice.
Hey, Chris, what up? So what I was saying was, so I've been a huge fan of Initial D for a very, very long time. I love that show, and so to be a lead character in that show, it's my first like core lead is like a wild like full circle moment.
Yeah.
But in my excitement for booking, as soon as I booked Shunaiba, I was so excited. So I started deep diving even farther into Initial D, farther than I already was. And I found out that Initial D is technically about a real dude that existed.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I forgot his name. I could look it up here in a second.
Wait,
but
you do have a computer in front of you.
Shunaiba.
No, not Shunaiba. So the lead character of the original Initial D is Takamiya Fujiwara. Is based off of this racer, and he was in the 60s and 50s and 60s. There was this like racer that invented drifting, and this guy saw it as a kid. He saw this racer do this. They were racing in the old 50s GTRs, the Nissan GTRs, and he saw this. And he's like, "That's so awesome!" So, like a true anime protagonist, he fucks off into the middle of nowhere for 4 years and just trains his driving skills. Just trains and trains and trains. Comes back, I think it was like the 60s and 70s somewhere, comes back and starts dominating the street racing scene in Japan on the mountains, on Mount Kuma, I think is what it was. Starts just destroying people. He's so good at racing, and he's so good, and he's just beating everyone. And he does it at such a level that the pro circuit finds out about him. And they're like, you need to get this guy on the pro circuit because he's so good. On the street racing scene, like, you have to book him. So they get him on the pro circuit, and he just starts completely and utterly dominating on the pro circuit to the point that he would win by such a large margin that he started drifting in those races to just like entertain himself and entertain the audience, to entertain the crowd. And the Japanese officials hated it. They hated. They're like, you're dishonoring like the other racers because it looks like you're just like showing off how much you're winning by. And he's like, I'm giving them a show. You want me to stop? Find a racer that can beat.
He's
me.
the Muhammad Ali of street racing.
Of street racing. This was on the pro circuit. He's doing this on the pro circuit.
Sure, yeah.
And so eventually, he starts his career in the Nissan GTR. And then eventually he discovers what ends up being his favorite car of all time and his true love, which was the AE86, the Toyota Terreno, which is the car, and it was Panda black and white, just like in the show. And that was like his favorite car. Starts dominating, and he still drives that car to this day. And he says it's the most perfect car that's ever been made. So of course, Initial D, lead character, dominates the street race, shows up out of nowhere because he's been trained by his father the whole time for like years, starts dominating the street racing scene in a Panda Terreno. You can't tell me that is not almost a direct rip of this guy's life. And so I thought that was just unbelievably wild. And that guy is considered like the grandfather, the godfather of all of the drift racing scene.
Yeah.
And like he created the racing style that is drift racing.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
So my question to you guys is, what is like a kind of like, oh, that's a really cool like off the side fact about an IP or like a fandom that you know?
Okay.
Okay.
That is interesting. So not necessarily has to be real life. It's just like a side.
Yeah. Like oh, this was actually accidentally made and it wasn't intended to be this. Like for instance, another one is in Dragon Ball Z. If I'm remembering right, I think that the Super Saiyan transformation was initially supposed to be white hair, but because there was a miscommunication between the manga artist and the animation,
Right, because the manga is all black and white.
yeah, that it ended up being yellow.
Yeah.
And Trunks' hair was supposed to be different too, but
Right.
because there was a miscommunication from the manga to the,
Right, which is why later on his hair color does change.
it changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense. Oh, that's a tough question to answer.
It is difficult. I have one, but I don't know if I know that you are both aware of it because I've told you about it, and I believe Kimber has, that in Scar's song in The Lion King, it's actually two people who sing it. It's not one. That song is super iconic, but it is actually done by two singers, and he blows out his voice.
And you can hear the moment that he does it.
Yeah, you can hear it. It's amazing that you hear him blow out his voice in that, what is it? You won't get a sniff without me.
No,
Is that portion?
I can't remember exactly what he's saying at the time, but it's like the big crescendo.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the big crescendo of the whole song, and at the end of that, he blows his voice.
It's-
and
it's
someone
a-
else has to come in
and come in and sing the rest of the song.
and kind of voice match him, obviously.
It was
but,
a song, I've got a lovely bunch of... Yeah, it was just, it blew his voice right out.
But the song sounds, he sounds transformed over the song, but also that's a different singer.
Yeah, it's definitely
it works
more-
so well.
more-
It's such an iconic song,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't have known that. I think I just randomly stumbled across it, or a friend Kimber told me about it, and I couldn't believe that about it. I mean, I can after I went back and I was like, wow, this is actually true, but it's just done so seamlessly, and it's like it's just it's wild
Power
to
of
me.
old Disney.
The power of Walt Disney.
If only they could find that again.
I know. Wish did not do well.
No, have you heard the song from Wish that
It's so bad.
Chris Pine sings?
Is it Chris Pine or Chris Pratt?
No, it's Chris Pine.
Chris Pine?
I really like Chris Pine. I nothing against him. The song itself is just a little boring.
It's
like,
so boring.
Like I find it to be a boring song. I don't think his
It's
performance
no-
is bad. I
It's
just
no
think
Wish by Nine Inch Nails.
It's no, we'll talk about Bruno.
it's
That's oh yeah.
none of
That's
that. No.
that's such lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Like that really took off. So like my favorite things that I'll learn about like movies and things like that are when two things. One, when there's like budgetary restrictions and they just make magic, like the original Star Wars, right? That story doesn't exist without all of the restrictions that George Lucas had. But I also love learning about directors and producers and all that who will adapt because an improvised line is so good that they will change a scene. So like one of my favorite Harrison Ford's like one of my favorite actors. He's kind of he's a grumpy guy, but like
I love that he's grumpy.
I
He's
know.
old.
He's the
I
best
mean-
kind of grumpy. No, he's just over Hollywood.
Yeah,
And
he's
it's the
Yeah.
best.
yeah. So in Indiana Jones and the Testament of the Old Will, what's that first one called?
The Lost Ark?
Lost Ark. Where
Testament of the
The
old
old
will.
will.
yeah. Hi.
I wish I could see you.
I don't. It's words are hard. So that scene where he's in the market and the guy's got the big sword and he's like flourishing it, and Indiana Jones just.
Oh, I know what you're about to say. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I love that because it's supposed to be a full-on like fight scene between him with
Okay.
this big guy with the sword. He just shoots him because he hurt himself. His back hurt.
I
got
heard a
injured.
different story.
I heard a different story from Corey.
Really? What was
I
yours?
heard he had diarrhea. He had gotten food poisoning,
Yeah.
and that's why he's
Oh.
sweating so much in that scene, even though he's doing nothing. Is because he's about to shit himself. Like,
He's like, you're gonna be in there.
yeah.
It's like I can't do that today.
Yeah, so
I
the story
literally
I
can't.
heard it was even
Maybe
better.
I heard like the edited like
The marketing story?
It was his back, his lower back.
I had heard that it
His
was
lower
because
front
he had,
or back.
Yeah.
he had gotten food poisoning or something to equivalent of, and was
Yeah.
about to and like had been like had aggressive diarrhea.
That's so funny.
I do know one other thing that I thought was wild.
What?
So in the new Wednesday that came out on Netflix this past, I think last year, came out last year.
out last
you know, Jenna Ortega does the dance. She actually
Oh, she made that herself.
She
yeah.
made that, but also she had COVID during that.
I did not know that bit.
She said it on like an interview, like she had COVID during it. I don't know if she found out like later, like she felt really, really terrible during it, and then like later on she got tested and found out. But like it's wild to me that iconic moment she really didn't feel well for. Like she said she felt really like not great, you know, but she's like I had to power through. Like we were on a really tight deadlines, and I.
Well, I mean, there's all that's just like that's actually like the toxicity of the film industry. Like, I mean, Viggo Mortensen shattered his foot.
Yeah.
I found out a new one recently I didn't know.
Okay.
So Sean Bean is extremely afraid of flying, and
Like just in an airplane.
just flying in general.
Okay.
And during the shooting of Lord of the Rings, they had to fly to set everywhere because it was in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And so the actors for Merry and Pippin pranked him and told the helicopter pilot that Sean Bean was a huge fan of flying, and so he took an extra long route and did like a bunch of tricks and stuff. And Sean Bean was so upset that he told the director, he's like, I don't care if I have to get up at 4 a.m. I am not flying to any of the sets. So he would get up, gear up and hike for hours to each of the filming locations. And sometimes he would show up hours late because he would refuse to be flown to them.
I did not know that. But also, too, that sounds like those two actors. I love watching those two in interviews. Like, they're so funny.
One of my favorite things in one of their interviews that they do is they're talking about, like, did you know that Lord of the Rings had a PG-13 rating? That means we could have gotten one in. Where would it one fuck in it? We could add one. Where would we have put it? And he was like, you fucking tool of a took.
Oh yeah.
Tool of a took.
I love that.
I really thought it would be.
And they were just it was just the two of them playing around where they would place the F-bomb.
Yeah. Talking about like injuries on set and stuff. Like, I grew up watching Jackie Chan, like, religiously. Mm-hmm. And at the end of all those movies, you'd watch, like, the bloopers and stuff like that. And a lot of it was him injuring himself. I can't remember which movie it was, but there's one where he jumped onto, like, a moving barge and he broke his foot. So he goes to the hospital, gets a cast, and they made, like, a rubber sock that was printed to look like his shoe. And he just put it over his cast and just did the rest of the movie. Like, that's just a normal...
That man sacrificed his body for his art. Like, he is the epitome of sacrificing his body.
I love Jackie Chan.
I love Jackie Chan. I will say, though, there's nothing more gut-wrenching than watching him cry. There's been so many moments of him, like, crying because of, like whenever they got his old stunt team back together. Or, like, his daughter watching all of his, like, old movies and being like... Are you okay? And he's like, man, it's like, old man crying. Yeah, old men crying. Get me.
Oh man.
No, I don't know. That kind of thing. We do a lot to make our careers work in the entertainment industry, but I'm telling you, if I broke my foot in the booth, I'm done for the day. Like,
if you break it in the booth?
If you broke it in the booth, I'd be more impressed than anything. Okay. Like, how do you manage this?
Get ready.
Yeah. Break it in the booth.
Like, and I've fallen off stage before, like, and it's not a big deal. I've never broken anything and just like, it's fine, I'll just keep going.
You did roll off stage,
I did,
so
yeah.
that was
so funny. You felt like he fell. He fell a great
But he rolled.
height.
He fell
and then tuck and rolled, and it impressed the audience more than our show did.
Yeah.
There wasn't much of an audience. I think that we were doing kind of a jam format.
That was our final show of the weekend. That's where all of the crew came.
Because Roger was. So what happened was Roger. I can't remember what game we were playing.
We were playing Alien AMA.
Roger got so mad at one of the questions.
Yeah, it was the tech. Yeah,
as his dignitary.
Yeah, so in character, he got angry at the tech who was asking just ridiculous questions. And so we had a big accessibility ramp. It was really long, like 20 feet or something.
It was like, what, 3 or 4 feet off the ground?
Yeah.
It was a pretty decent height to fall.
It felt like almost like going over a moat,
Yeah.
Well, how would you know what going over a moat would feel like?
I've been in medieval times.
I lived in the medieval times.
Danny's a vampire. Yeah. No, we found out today. Today I learned that every fear I've ever had... so for the viewers watching, I have a irrational fear that Danny is a vampire and that one day she's going to kill me.
We did talk about this last week.
Yeah. I think she's... So I'm now... That's another little bit of evidence right there. That's
going over a moat.
I've been in the medieval times.
Actually, just earlier, she had a glass full of a red liquid.
I wonder what that was.
It's interesting. But yeah, no, so Roger was like rushing down the ramp, and I, in character, was like trying to shield him and hold him back. And then he walked back up the thing, all normal, having calmed down. And then he turned around like as really fast, unexpectedly, started racing down the ramp again. I wasn't expecting it. So I go to chase him. My knee gives out, and I do a little bit of a wide step. My foot catches the edge. I tumble. And luckily, there were no chairs on this side. They had removed half of the chairs for some reason. And so I hit the ground. I roll. My glasses fly off like 10 feet away from me. And the entire audience is like, oh! Roger breaks character.
We all were like...
I pop up. I grab my glasses. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's stay in character and get back into it. And everybody's like, are you okay? I was like, no, shut up. Let's go. Like, I'm fine. The show must go on. It's okay. But yeah, I got a lot of compliments that night.
It was
Yeah, you did.
It was
'cause
really fun.
It was more impressive than the rest of the show.
Yeah, I know.
We're like, that man has done martial arts.
Yeah, I know, and that's the funny thing is I had been doing chiropractic. I've been doing. Like,
I've been doing chiropractic.
Yeah,
I'm a Cairo.
I was in Cairo.
I hate you guys. I've been doing physical therapy for my back.
I did cryomancy.
because my back hurt so much, and so that was the very first con I'd ever done with zero back pain. And then I fell off the stage.
And that was the last con you ever did was
Zero back pain.
You are your own greatest enemy.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
I can't. I'm not good unless I'm suffering.
I know. I do. I'm very much the
Tortured artist.
yeah. What's the guy who tore his ear off?
Oh,
Edgar Allan
Vincent
Poe?
Van Gogh.
Vincent.
Did you say Edgar Allan Poe?
No, Edgar Allan Poe. He just died mysteriously. No one actually knows how.
No, he
died.
went. He won up the game. He just straight died.
No, but I mean he did. Like there's
I know.
yeah,
I know. It's but the joke is like he didn't tear off his ear. He tore off his whole soul.
Yeah. But like Vincent Van Gogh, one day when I die, I'll become famous after I'm dead.
Yeah, I think you have to eat a bunch of laced paint, though.
Is that how you become famous?
Yeah, I believe he went insane because he was eating his paint.
Danny, the paint wasn't laced. No one laces paint.
No, it was paint that...
because he was eating lead-based paint.
Yes!
Oh, lead.
No one laced. I'm gonna poison him, and I know what his favorite dish is: the color red.
I just meant it was laced with toxin.
No, it was made the way it was
No,
designed.
that's just
to be.
paint. Yeah, paint's all toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paint is not designed to be eaten.
Listen,
It was an attempt on my life. What monster would poison my favorite thing? Bears. Mob.
you guys are butts.
Ah, yes, my favorite vintage of Rust-Oleum. Ugh! This has been laced with poison.
Not my pine green. Anything but pine green.
Oh no!
Blackest avoid!
Not my hammered chrome. What beast would
No, they got to my Crayola crayons too.
No!
No.
How did they know I was a Marine?
Okay, his paint. Laced paint.
It's not laced. It's the way it was intended to be. Danny, there's lace denotes that somebody intentionally put a foreign chemical inside of it.
What's
Yeah.
foreign now? We would call
Like-
it lead paint.
It's like, oh, I have cocaine laced with fentanyl.
Yeah.
Like it's put in
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, people.
nightshade laced paint.
No.
Yeah. Back when they people were dying being exposed to like radiation because they didn't know how dangerous it was yet. It was very much laced radiation. Radiation now
Yeah,
is
it
much
was
more safe.
laced.
Yeah,
It
no,
was
the
laced.
radiation today is much safer for
Yeah.
people. It's more digestible.
Yeah. You ever hear
I
that
hate
story?
you both. I hate you both.
Danny eating her paint chips.
This one's not laced.
This one's laced with nightshade.
Have you ever heard about the? It was like an old watches to make them glow in the dark. They would use, I think it was radium, because it would glow in the dark.
Isn't there like a whole subsect of TikTok that's about like hunting for radium glass?
Yeah, I think there is.
Yeah.
There's an. Oh, is there like a? I feel like there's a term for the people hunting for it.
Yeah, I don't know what the term is, but I know that like that's a whole thing on TikTok is people hunting for radium glass.
Oh, well, I don't know about
Yeah.
that, but there was the story of these. So it would be like young ladies who would be painting, like the clock face to get all the numbers and stuff, and they'd be like, "Oh, it glows, so wouldn't it be fun if we use this paint to like give ourselves makeup?"
Yeah.
So like lip and eyes and whatnot, and they all died of cancer.
Not very long after.
Yeah,
I
because
assume.
they had no idea that it was
Radioactive.
radioactive. Like the radiation, they didn't know what that meant.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of that in history. There's a ton of
There's
that.
going to be that more in history as we determine more things that
Like,
we shouldn't be
remember,
using.
like,
Yeah.
the origin of the Mad Hatter?
yeah.
Is that hatting used to get it to where it would fit your head.
The adhesives, right?
It was like they would line
glue?
it. They would line it like so that it would form to your head with
Yes.
mercury.
Oh.
And because of that, you're basically just wearing a mercury ring on your head, and you would go insane
Wow.
because of the poisoning.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a cool real world connection.
Yeah.
Cool it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, my segment. So
Yes.
I decided to look up a bunch of really weird laws in the United States. And so I'm going to tell you some really stupid laws, and I want you to tell me what state do you think these laws came from?
Oklahoma.
Louisiana.
I do not have...
Copy and paste that answer for all of them.
I do not have Oklahoma nor Louisiana here.
Dang it.
Wow.
I do know. So if we're not going to do that, do you know that there is a law in Oklahoma that makes it illegal to go whaling?
What's whaling?
You're hunting for whales.
That's what they mean by whaling? Well, there's no whales there.
There's a law in the Oklahoma law books that
Talk about doing stuff that's not needed.
I have a similar law. Actually, it was the one I was going to end on. But in a similar vein, in this state, it is illegal to hunt and kill Bigfoot.
That's going to be Montana. That's 100% going to
Hunt
be
and
Montana.
kill Bigfoot. Okay.
Yeah.
It's illegal
So-
to hunt Hawaii.
So
Yes, the very common sighting of Bigfoot in Hawaii.
Hawaii.
So the law was later amended, designating Bigfoot as an endangered species.
Yeah, Montana.
Yeah.
That sounds like
It's close. So you said Hawaii, final answer?
Yes,
So
Hawaii.
it's the state of Washington.
Ooh, I was close.
Yeah, you're pretty close. It was
There's been
passed-
no Bigfoot sightings in Hawaii, by the way.
There's no whales in Oklahoma. That was my thinking.
You know what?
That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm going to give that one to you.
Yeah, so this was passed in 1969. Nice. 5 years in prison if you kill Bigfoot.
Wow. Just 5?
Just 5.
Wow, he's not a sentient being then.
Yeah.
Like he's clearly like under a bestial.
He has to be. He has to be a sentient being.
You only get 5 years though? That's way less than like
I also thought you
second
got
degree.
more for like endangered species too. I thought you got at least like 10.
No, they don't care.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Let's go
You're
tiger
right.
hunting.
You're right now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Weird.
Okay, so this state does not allow Halloween on Sundays.
Oh, that's got to be a
Doesn't-
hyper conservative state. I'm gonna
Alabama.
go with Arkansas. I'm gonna go with the other A.
Interesting. Delaware. The state none of us remember.
I don't even know anything about Delaware.
I know.
If you guys are listening, leave a fact about Delaware
Yeah.
if you know it.
In the comment section right now, leave a factoid about Delaware.
I've
Yeah.
never been there. If I found out today that it was not even a real state, that it had somehow had just been gaslit to me, I'd be like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone from there.
Also, this
been
law is
there?
great because it wasn't even passed that long ago. It was passed in 1971. Basically, hey, you can't celebrate goblins and ghosts on the Sabbath. I think this one's my favorite law. In this state, you're not allowed to wear a fake mustache in church if what was the word they used?
If you're menstruating.
Okay, it's illegal to wear a fake mustache in church that causes laughter. It's been around since the 1800s.
Massachusetts.
New York.
Wow, that's pretty good. It's actually Alabama. Yeah.
That's stupid.
I love that. You can wear a mustache, but if anybody laughs...
Yeah, it's
they're
silly.
put-
You
So
can't.
basically,
have
in this
silliness.
game, you have a 1 in 50
50
chance,
chance, yeah.
to like actually guess it.
This is
I like
just...
that. Good odds. Better than the casino, really.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
We don't have to guess, but I was just making
No,
it-
I love that there's no rhyme or reason to this. Like,
Oh, absolutely
we're applying logic, and it's like there's no rhyme or reason. To this.
There's no rhyme or reason. So in this state, this is actually a story I've heard before. Donkeys, it's illegal for donkeys to sleep in bathtubs.
Oh, I have heard this one. Oh no, what is
It's
this?
illegal for donkeys
Virginia?
to sleep in bathtubs. Wait.
This story in 1924, so near
California.
this town in the state.
Arizona.
Yeah.
I was close though. California's pretty close to Arizona.
So a town was flooded by a local dam while a merchant let his donkey sleep in an old bathtub. So although the donkey survived, it was carried about a mile down the valley by the floodwaters before finally landing in a basin.
Actually, it probably wouldn't have survived if it wasn't in the bathtub.
Yeah, I don't know why
It
they
made a
that
little
illegal.
boat.
They're like, we could have survived. My child could have survived in that tub.
So-
I think that's probably what they were saying. Is
Yeah.
it could have been used for someone that actually needed it.
I suppose. So they say at the end, it's worth mentioning that North Carolina and New York have similar laws. So you're kind of close.
Okay.
I think this is my last one. In this state, you are not allowed to tie a giraffe to a telephone pole or a street lamp.
Tie a giraffe.
That sounds like some California nonsense.
Tie a giraffe.
I'm gonna go California. I'm gonna go
You're not
California.
allowed to tie a giraffe to a street light or a light pole.
Yeah, basically, you can't leave your giraffes.
Illinois.
Okay.
Because I just
Georgia.
assume.
Georgia. That's
Yeah. They say they're not. It's not clear why the law was passed, but
Circuses.
people think it was because of a passing circus.
okay. I'm gonna give a follow up thing for your segment.
Okay.
You can make one law for one state. What is it?
One law for one state.
Yeah.
It's gotta be for like Florida, right? Just all the crazy nonsense.
I've got a fun one.
Okay.
15-year or 25-year prison sentence for anyone that takes a selfie in California.
Wow.
Yeah. How much would that mess up that whole state?
Wow. Okay. A 10-year sentence for anyone who says y'all in Texas.
Ah, dang.
Ooh, bro. I'd go to prison.
I would too.
Oh, no. No. What do you got?
Okay, mine is if you are caught with an alligator in Florida, you automatically go to jail for 10 years.
Ooh, okay.
Just you're caught with an alligator in any way, shape, or form, you have to go to jail.
I'd be in jail. Yeah.
Like you just have
I thought
to.
you were going to be like, if your food tastes tasteless in North Dakota.
Oh my god.
then you're going to jail.
I think mine for North Dakota would be, what could I change about that state? So many things. I think it's if you weren't caught using less than 5 spices in a dish, then you must go directly to jail for 5 years.
Like that, like the way we talk about lawmaking sounds like a Monopoly game.
You go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
So here I have one for Missouri. I lived in Clinton, Missouri for a year, and it was miserable. They need to have, if your building smells like sewer, it needs to be demolished, and everyone who owned or was in the making or like anything to do with
Construction
that
of it?
building, you go to jail because all of their
Okay, if
buildings. in there.
we're making it for our like states we've lived in, I've got
Okay.
one just like it. In Oklahoma, it is now law that if a church splits and tries to make 2 churches, those churches have to fight each other, and whichever one survives gets to be the church that exists.
That's funny.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
Mine.
Like to the death. There will be police there watching them, but they can't use any guns. They just have to bare knuckle, like beat the crap out
Oh,
of each other.
cool.
Okay, mine is
Okay.
in Texas. You cannot have 2 gas stations at the same intersection.
Ooh.
You cannot. They have to be they have to be at another intersection. It cannot be the intersection of 2 streets.
Okay, I've got
cannot.
one for Texas too, and this is actually specifically for Irving, Texas.
Oh.
There can only be 1 Indian restaurant per 10 square miles.
10 square miles.
Yeah, because like in the place where I used to live, there were like 15 Indian restaurants within a mile.
That's interesting.
And it's like, you all can't stay in business. Like there can't be this much of a demand for this
Maybe,
one
yeah.
particular like genre of food.
That's interesting. For mine for Texas would be mandatory merging licenses. Like if you cannot merge and zipper merge like everybody else in America, you get your license taken away.
Yeah.
Okay,
for
I got
sure.
one for you. I got one for you.
I agree.
I got one for you. You have to get a CDL license in order to own a truck in Texas.
Need it. We need that now.
Interesting.
Yeah, like
We
you have
need
to
that
basically
now.
prove that you're working in order to like get a anything above like a Toyota Tacoma.
Wow. I actually saw there is a new car, a Rivian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they're the fully electric, like for the granola hippies who want to go out into the nature, but they want to be.
Those trucks don't look like they can pull anything.
They're
though.
super fast though.
They look
are
cool.
So Jose has one, and I will say that thing takes off.
Wow.
It's
It
wild.
doesn't look like it has a lot of pulling power.
It's
though.
fast though. I don't know if it does have pulling power or not, but the thing is fast.
I don't know.
It's scary fast. It made me. It
So
made
who
my
makes the
butthole-
Rivian?
I don't know.
I think they're just. I looked them up.
I think it's just Rivian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So because I know that they were gonna have a Tesla truck.
That's gonna be a crazy time. to
Have you
live in-
seen the Tesla trucks out in the wild?
No.
I've seen
No.
one. It looks like
dystopian.
it looks like the video game. Like it hasn't quite loaded all of the.
It looks like oh, what is that called?
all the textures haven't.
Yeah, I know what
fully
you're
loaded.
talking about, but there's a term for it whenever
Shading?
it doesn't load in.
Yeah.
What do
And
they
it's
call
taking
it? Is it-
too long to load in.
It's a bit like it's a bit off-putting when you see it. 'Cause, like that's not
shaders?
supposed to exist.
No, it's a polygon term. It's like a
It's fine.
low poly something. I don't know.
Yeah, because it is very low poly.
Yeah.
And it is. I saw it once and I laughed so hard. I want one. I think it's so.
Oh, that's a
funny.
fun prompt. That's a fun prompt. What fantasy vehicle that does not fly would you love to be real?
Oh gosh.
To be
Tron bike, I think is.
Yeah.
that one's really good.
See, I'm such a
Tron bike.
Batman fanboy. I would love to have the Batmobile. Like, I think that's
What
so
version?
fun. What? That's a great question. I love the animated series,
Ooh, okay.
and so that long, like, almost kind of like Art Nouveau, like,
Nuclear power.
yeah, that thing's so cool. And
It's just one giant jet turbine.
it is, yeah, yeah, and it has
What
all
about you,
kinds of
Danny?
little gadgets and gizmos.
I'm trying to think of which one I would want. I don't know if there's like a specific one that's not real. Because I'm gonna be honest. There's not in female-centered like animations. There's not as many vehicles. There's a lot more like riding animals or something like.
Oh yeah, no,
Like-
you want the lion from He-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking in Batman Beyond, does he have a bike that he rides?
Batman Beyond is a flying
He
Batmobile.
flies. It all
Oh,
flies.
it flies. Okay,
Yeah,
I
I-
thought it
I
had a
have-
motorcycle.
No, it
No.
flies. He has a bat. The jet.
I think they just call it the Batmobile, but
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
fly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think there's any like vehicle that I can think of that I want that doesn't fly.
Yeah, because all I can
That's-
think of for you would be grab boots from.
Yeah, but that's not a
Horizon.
vehicle.
It is
that
a
wouldn't
vehicle.
be
If
considered
if
a
it
vehicle.
transports you, it's a vehicle.
Well, I would want grab boots for sure, but I don't consider that a vehicle.
But they fly, so they don't count.
Yeah.
It is a vehicle. Anything.
All
that,
they do is fly.
Anything
By
that
the way, that's all
transports
they
a human
do.
being from point A to point B is a vehicle.
Well, it's not like it's like saying Swiftwind from She-Ra, but that's not a vehicle.
It is a vehicle.
But also
Horses are
Swiftwind-
vehicles.
Swiftwind flies, which is
Horse. It's a mount. It's a vehicle.
okay.
Like, what is the actual definition of a vehicle? Like, what is the Oxford Dictionary definition of a vehicle?
I don't think that sentient
One
animals
moment, please.
or animals count as vehicles. but-
Define vehicle.
Baseline from the Hot Wheels movie. Oh yeah. Oh, that is a good choice.
So, Google says it is a thing used for transporting people or goods.
Yeah, a thing. No, a thing. I don't think animals are they a thing?
No. Let's see here. Merriam-Webster.
A means of carrying or transporting something. Planes, trains, and other vehicles. Motor vehicle. A piece of
Mechanized equipment. An
We are
agent-
good. Thank you, Omi. Thank you, Omi. It's Omi.
Aw.
Omi.
Yeah, it's a little vague.
It is pretty vague.
So you can kind of tell, like, through the ages, they'll update it to make it more, like, non...
So can we agree that it is a non-sentient device that transports a human being?
Yes.
A chariot
Yeah.
is a vehicle.
Yeah.
Grav boots are a vehicle.
Yes.
A sleigh.
Is a vehicle. A hoverboard is a vehicle.
Vehicle.
Yeah.
I think we can agree
Skateboard
that.
is a vehicle.
Yeah. Ooh.
okay.
I think the hoverboard from Back to the Future. That would be really fun.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good
It
one.
wouldn't take you very far, very fast, but that'd be really fun.
Well, I guess transporters.
Transformers.
No, transporters.
Oh, I know, but I want a transformer.
They
Yeah.
definitely fly, but yes.
Some of them do, not all of
Oh,
them.
yeah, it's true. I guess it
No,
would have
not
been.
all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Optimus
want
don't
the
fly.
I want the cheetah one.
Oh, from Beast Wars.
The cheetah one. I had the little action figure.
I did too. I had Cheetor. I had Optimus Prime. Who was the gorilla? Optimus Primal.
I had the Dodge Viper.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So I was such a Beast Wars guy. didn't actually
I
have
was
any of that.
all
I was into
about-
Beast Wars. I think it was the age at which I was.
Mine
and
was
I
after
liked-
Beast Wars. I was all about the series right after Beast Wars because there was a Dodge Viper Transformer.
Got you.
Hot Shot, I think, or something like that.
I liked all the animals, and then they would.
I like the
turn
animals
into-
too. Have you ever tried to watch it as an adult?
No.
The animation did not hold up.
It does not.
Have you seen the
looks-
new movie?
I've seen trailers for it, but I am so out of the Transformers game.
Yeah.
My thing with the movies is that as it went along, I think Michael Bay did more drugs, and like it becomes a lot looser plot lines,
Yeah.
and so it's
I liked
hard to
the
follow.
first two Transformers movies. I actually really enjoyed them.
I liked
thought-
the first one.
The first
a
one was
lot.
good.
Second one was fine, and
I'd say the second one was not as good, but it
Yeah.
wasn't bad. It was just
Right.
like, this is not as nearly as fun or
Right.
unique as the original.
yeah. And then after that, I just fell off. I think I jumped back in at one point, and I was just like, I don't.
I do like
When-
that they made
was it-
Bumblebee cool.
Yeah.
That was, like Bumblebee was always lame to me as a kid, and then to make him like a Camaro, I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Was it Wahlberg who came into them?
Yeah.
When Wahlberg comes in, it's like, this is wild. It's not Wahlberg's fault, but that felt like
it's
that.
not Wahlberg's fault.
But it felt
is-
like that movies as a general
One of the
took a
movies
turn.
feels like they took the remnants of all the other movies and scraped together a movie. Like it feels like whenever you like eat Thanksgiving through the scraps of all the things that haven't been eaten yet.
Yeah.
That's what that movie.
not
felt like.
cohesive, it's just-
not. It's all over the place. Each one of the scenes seems like it belongs somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's either the third or fourth movie. I can't remember which one it is. But I remember watching it and being like, did I have a stroke through this whole movie? Did I just have a 2.5 hour long stroke?
I watched one and I thought, am I high?
Yeah.
And I wasn't. And
Yeah,
I
no.
legitimately wasn't. So I was
Because I felt
like,
like, I would rewind and be like, did I like black out and miss a couple of scenes that I don't understand what's
I
happening?
blacked
Oh, dude, we should do a commentary track over whatever movie that was.
Yeah, we definitely
it's,
should.
I'll go back. I know it's not the first two. It's either the
No.
third or the fourth. And I just remember being like, that sucked.
Have you ever watched? I think it's 1977. It's an old animated movie called Wizards. It's one of Mark Hamill's first voiceover roles, if not his very first voiceover role.
I'm not familiar with it.
It is absolutely wild. It is a drug trip. It is mushrooms, and it's very like political. And there's at one point where the big bad and this little wizard who's on the good guy side, and I think they're brothers. He's like, I've waited a long time for this moment. And he's like pulling up his sleeves like he's gonna do magic, and he just pulls a gun out and shoots them.
Ah, yes. The greatest form of magic. Gunman
Guns.
scene.
It is absolutely bonkers.
I love that.
Wow.
That speaks to me on an
We should
emotional
watch
level.
that.
We should.
I think we should.
We should have
definitely
a
watch
stream
that.
where it's just us watching a film that's like slightly blurred out so that we don't get it taken down.
Yeah.
But it's just us commenting on it. Everyone can kind of see what's
We
happening.
can sync it up so you can watch it at home with us.
Yeah, we can be like, all right, we're going to do it in 3, 2,
2,
1.
take
And just watch the movie.
Yeah. I think that'd be so funny.
Oh, I want you guys to watch the new Expendables. It's like the Expendables already started in a low. I love the Expendables.
I fell asleep
I've
in
seen
the
the
theater.
first one. Yeah.
I
It's
fell
one of my
asleep.
it's one of my guilty pleasures
Yeah.
because it's basically like, what if you can
Junk food.
Do you remember that old YouTube video? It's like power thirst with manergy. It's like a B-52 made of biceps. Like yeah, that's the Expendables. Like somebody took that YouTube video and was like, how can I turn this into the concept of a movie? And that's what the Expendables are. So I watch them, I turn my brain off, and but the latest one is even weirder than the other. Like I fell asleep during it.
I fell asleep during the first Expendables in the movie theater.
Yeah, no,
I never fall asleep during. It just was too much for me.
I fell
was
asleep
like,
during a concert once.
I was just like, how do you fall asleep he doing a concert?
Because I didn't realize
It was a Taylor Swift concert. He passed out. You
No.
didn't fall asleep. You passed out.
I went for Deftones. That was it. I didn't
Okay.
realize there were like 13 bands that day. I had no idea. So I showed up really early. I'm like the third row in, and Flyleaf came on, and I passed out. Yeah.
I love
Did you wake up
Flyleaf.
for Deftones?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
woke
love
up.
Flyleaf. What do you-
Flyleaf is fine. I like them, but I'd already watched like 6 bands, and I was like, I'm just here for Deftones. Like they weren't even.
I need to conserve my energy. Dun, 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 dun.
I did, yeah.
Just like a Marine.
You went on a power save mode.
I did. Well, then, so Deftones, they were the second to last.
Crayon shoves crayon up nose.
I did, and it was laced. And then Deftones was the second to last band. The headliner was Korn, and I just left. I didn't even stay.
You didn't stay for Korn?
Nope.
I like Korn.
I liked Korn. So this was my senior year in high school, I think.
You were young?
Yeah. I just didn't. I don't know.
Wow.
I liked earlier Korn stuff, but I just didn't really care for them at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
We listened to Korn the other day, and I was like, I can see why I stopped listening.
Yeah.
to this.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Like I mean,
It's not fun.
I think at the time it was something that was.
it's neither hard nor
Soft?
like I don't know.
Is it limpy?
It's limpy.
It's limpy?
It's limpy.
Yeah. It's there, but it's just a bulge.
Korn is limpy rock.
Yeah.
It's flaccid rock.
Yeah. And I do feel like they were.
It's not acid rock. It's flaccid
Flaccid
rock.
rock.
Yeah, they were trying a bit too hard for like to be edgy. I think.
Yeah, it's edgy
Yeah.
for its time, which made it not date well.
Oh yeah.
That's. I think that's the most concise way I can put it. It's
Okay.
edgy for its time, and it didn't age well because of it.
Yeah. And I think even at the time I only liked a few of their songs, and then as I listened to more, I was like, I just don't really care for it.
Yeah.
I only like a few of their songs.
Yeah.
There's only a
All right, I
couple.
think we beat this dead horse into the ground.
It's dead?
It's dead.
It's done too much
And it's
stuff.
in a
It,
bathtub.
it ate itself to death like Prince.
Yeah. All right, Danny, what's your segment?
Not Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, but currently known as Prince. Danny has a horse named Prince.
I do.
That tried to eat itself to death.
It ate so much that it got compacted inside of its intestines, and the vet had to come because it was going to die. So when it got compacted, horses can't throw up like people can, or like dogs or cats. So if they get compacted inside their stomach and in their intestines, they have to literally stick their fist inside of their booty and pull it out.
And what my favorite thing is,
And give them
is
drugs.
this horse is so addicted to eating that today when we saw it, it was like gnawing at an empty trough, just
Yeah.
like mouthing it and then burping while
It was
it's doing it. It sounded like Rick from Rick and Morty. Like I was like, this is sad, bro.
Because the
It's
vet told us
sad.
we had to give it less hay. And so we're giving him less hay, and he's on a diet right now, and he does not
It was like
his
somebody
diet.
watching somebody go through cocaine withdrawal. Just
Yeah,
what is it? Like,
he really
I feel like
was.
if I go on a diet, that's gonna be me.
yeah.
He really was like,
let me sniff your breath.
It's just me chewing on the cereal box.
yeah. He was.
Yeah.
I opened up the stall, and they all ran in because that's where they eat. And there was like, "There's nothing here. There's nothing here."
Yeah, it was. I was like, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen out of a thing that can't talk.
It was.
All right, what's your
sad.
segment, Danny?
So my segment is called A Stone's Throw, and this is
Nice.
about news articles that are literally in our backyard here.
Okay.
So very, very close. Like this one is coming. This news story is from a press release by the Plano Police Department.
So it's not that same app we used a couple weeks ago.
No, it's not Nextdoor.
Nextdoor.
But it's similar.
Okay.
So for this one, I was actually on Nextdoor where I saw this because I get like notifications to my email, and when they're ridiculous notifications, I go and look on them. Like, oh my god, I can't believe Karen is mad that children are like at her door.
Right. Yeah. Oh, they're selling lemonade without a permit.
Yeah, how dare they? And I
Yeah.
just find these people hilarious.
Sure.
Like, I can't. And this one is actually really, really close to us. Like, we could go outside and walk a mile and see it.
Got you.
Really close to us. It's about some massage parlors that were shut down. They were shut down really close to us here. I told Corey
They
he
were
was
raided.
like,
They have not been shut down yet.
oh, some of them were and some
Yeah,
of them weren't.
but-
So, they're in different states of business.
Okay.
But they were all raided
Yep, they were.
for
For, I would call that illegal body work.
prostitution.
Yeah. Illegal.
I brought in my Camaro for some illegal body work.
I see you got some hail damage there, sir. Would you like to get those bumps worked out?
Yeah. I,
So
Did your Camaro need a lube job?
So we were when me and Danny.
So in this press release, they actually mentioned reviewers are able to provide graphic depictions of acts and that were required for some reviews. And I thought they had salacious reviews. That's how people found them. It was wild to me that
So
they
Danny,
had
of course,
salacious.
being who she is, goes and finds these reviews.
I did find a couple.
I thought you were
reviews.
going to end that story with she went to the massage parlor.
No.
Okay.
And I said I got a massage the other day. We went to a completely separate place that had been purchased.
Hoink.
Separate place. And we were actually going there, and I mentioned, I was like, oh my God, I saw this story the other day. And Corey was like, what?
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
I can't believe that. Where is it?
Wow, where is it?
But also, I was like, because that's not my world. Like, I know a lot of broskies are like super into like, yeah, let's go do prostitutes in Amsterdam. That's not my world. And so I'm like, how do people find this stuff?
Dude, I had a guy who he was trying to be my friend, and like I barely knew him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you know what you need? You need to go to this specific massage
Parlor.
place." And I was just like, "I don't know you that well." Bro.
Yeah, but the thing is like, so like that's a guy that knows a guy. Like that's how I think that it would happen.
Yeah.
It's like, how does like someone's like, if I were to wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what, I need a blowy, and just like, and
Reviews, apparently.
yeah, apparently it's the review section is where you find this stuff.
Wow.
And what were like some of your favorites?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I had a couple.
Oh, one star. I love it.
There's a couple 1 stars here. But first they
Too
said...
much teeth.
First they said a telltale sign is that they have photos of women.
Oh yeah.
On their site, because
Okay.
usually like you don't care, like you're like, I want someone to give me a massage who's like a professional, who's not going to hurt me, who's going to like be really good at deep tissue or Swedish massage or medical massage, like you care about their certifications. Here they don't care about them.
No.
There's just some photos of very beautiful Asian
very
women,
pretty, yes.
and that apparently that is a telltale sign that
Yes.
you can
And then you
know.
go into the review section and it proves it.
And you go to this review and it says, this place seems to be in a good healthcare center. However, the moment you walk in, you see that it is anything but. Upon walking in, I was greeted by an older Asian woman wearing a short dress and asking in broken English, "You want massage?" And they've written out kind of phonetically. When I got to the point, I said I would come later. And then she said, "We have 3 more girls. You want to see more girls?" This place is sketchy, period.
I love the next one. If you're looking to get a therapeutic massage, this is not the place to go. Waste of money.
But I like this other one. The first thing, the 4-star one that says legit massage, but older Chinese ladies work there. Why they gotta hate, man?
Yeah,
You know?
I know.
The guy that called this place a brothel. How do you know? Did you proposition the lady there and got rejected? So now you are mad?
This is some shit.
I love that it ends with average Chinese massage place. What? Just call it an average massage place.
Oh my god. This is amazing.
Wow.
And so me and Danny are talking, we're driving, and we're having a good time because, you know, I lucked out and married a fellow improviser, so my life is hysterical. And we were talking about, like, how are they going to go, like reopened, but, like, tell the world that it's still open for business, but using different terms?
Yeah, like what's
So
in the
instead of, like,
reviews?
happy ending, it's, like, exuberant finale.
Yeah.
Or-
Energetic postscript.
Postscript.
what was it?
PSPP.
SPP.
PSP.
Mine's a bit more
That
on it.
is my favorite.
Yeah.
That's
That's their tagline.
PS.
PP.
That's the name of my new massage parlor.
That's how I'm gonna end every letter. No, every text message from now on that I send you is gonna say, "Hey, Christian, I need you at rehearsal at 9 a.m.
Yes.
PP."
And then I'll be super excited until I realize, oh, this is just what he signed it off with.
Oh my gosh. Like there's nothing better than that.
No, we peaked.
I didn't think I hit it so
we
fast.
climaxed.
We climax.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
I do it very fast.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I do want to tell our viewers if they encounter anything that's like news that happens close to them, or maybe they go on Nextdoor and have some fun things that they see on their Nextdoor, please submit them to us for a stone's throw, and we would love to talk about them and maybe come up with whatever they need, different
Yeah,
reviews.
send us your stories
Yeah.
and we'll make them into segments somehow.
Stories, like send us questions, and you can do that at our email, take the number 1, so take1improv@gmail, or you can hit us up on the social medias, on Twitter. It's take the number 1 improv on everything: TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. What are other social medias? Instagram.
X.
We have a MySpace. We've got a
Zanga.
Zenga.
Live journal.
Yep. We've got.
Zanga, wow.
Yeah.
My Zanga was lit.
Zenga was the very first one I ever
That
had.
was the oldest statement I think you've ever made. My Zanga was lit. It was what you call bussin'.
All right.
Back.
My Zanga was hip to the hoppity.
Hip hop, don't stop, rock to the bang bang booty. Up jump the booty.
My Zanga was chill and hot.
I had many young gentlemen propose to me on there.
Whoa, sheesh. That was out of pocket.
Oh, my teeth.
And if are we doing the sign offs now? Are we doing? Is that what
I
we're doing?
I feel like we've covered everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like we've peaked.
Yeah.
This is
through a
where our
journey.
career ends.
This is it.
If we're ending, before we go, I'm gonna try. So here's the thing. It's really hurt my soul and because I'm so excited about it, but it's such a tragedy that I'm not in it. This week, Bethesda released. Bethesda and Prime released the first trailer for the Fallout series.
Yeah.
And it looks awesome. So I'm going to start a very aggressive social media campaign over the next year to get enough followers, enough likes, comments, whatever. You guys are now my soldiers. I am the general, and the whole point of this war is to get me on that show for season 2. So what I need from you guys is to like, follow, share with your friends. Anything that I do on my social media is like Corey J. Phillips. It's Corey J. Phillips on all social media. Follow me, like, comment, everything.
And hashtag Fallout.
Hashtag follow and Corey and Fallout. Hashtag Corey and Fallout, so that we can get me on that show, so that I can die happy as an actor, because Fallout is my number 1 favorite fandom of all time. And if I don't get on that show, I'm going to cry. And then I'm going to eat Toshi.
On a similar vein, if you guys can follow, repost everything Christian Harris.
Don't listen to him. This
get
is only
Christian
about me.
Harris-
This is only about me.
To get me on Fallout
No.
before Corey.
Don't follow me anywhere. I swear
way-
to God, don't follow me.
That way I can get into Fallout and tell everyone how terrible of an actor Corey is. And
You know, that would create a real villain arc. I might come after you to try to kill you.
You're telling them now.
Like, I'm confessing to this murder. If
Toshi,
he does
come.
that to me, if he does
Come.
that, this will be my villain origin story,
Come.
and I will gain superpowers and throw you into space, Omni-Man style.
look, man, the most famous people are people with chaos and
Huge
and
grudges.
huge grudges. Yeah, we'll just take this rivalry and we'll both be in Fallout
Until we mutually destroy each other.
Yeah.
Just follow Toshi Phillips.
Only
cares
follow
about them?
Toshi.
That'd be great if
cares
Toshi ended
about
up in
them?
Fallout.
Yeah.
I do. So right before we do the sign-offs, I did promise to her face, because she came all the way from Lubbock to see our show last night. She asked us, what is our least favorite Pokemon? This was Anaziah who came to see us.
Okay.
So
okay.
what's your least favorite Pokemon?
Okay, so I'm going to burn my typical answer, which is Trubbish.
Yeah. Okay. Easy.
Trubbish is a stupid Pokemon. Whoever created it, feel bad. Because sentient garbage? What's wrong with you? Nobody asked for this. Nobody wants this. And no.
Sentient garbage was my, when you graduate in high school, they give you the nicknames. That was mine.
Sentient garbage.
But as far as like my actual like, I just don't like this Pokemon. Ooh.
Oh, there's that big legendary Pokemon that's like Porygon-esque, and I don't like that one.
Oh, Porygon?
No, not Porygon. It's a legendary Pokemon that's Polygon-esque. It's very like... Was it in Crystal?
Oh, you know who I don't like? Oh, what is his name? They look like genies. And I don't like them because they're just a straight up man in a cloud. Like...
Yeah, I think the more like humanoid Pokemon make me uncomfortable.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate humanoid Pokemon. I hate them.
It's
unsettling.
It is very unsettling. And then like also too, the show really hammers home that every single Pokemon has like they're all sentient. It's just they can't talk, except for some of them can talk, and so that it just becomes slavery. And I don't know. And then when you make them more humanoid, it's like that is just really
like
off-putting.
Mr. Mime and Jinx. I don't like them because they're too humanoid.
Yeah, like Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan.
I loved Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan.
I liked Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan as well, but they're in that category of a bit too humanoid.
Well, let's limit this. Let's. I would say overall, I think one of my least favorite is those legendaries and Nosepass. I also don't like Nosepass just because I don't like a giant nose as a Pokemon.
Sure.
Like,
Is it Nosepass? I thought it was Snowpass.
no, it's Nosepass. Pretty sure it's Nosepass.
Couldn't tell you. I know the first 151, and that's about
What
it.
is your least favorite of the original 151?
Of the OG?
Of the OGs. It's
Diglett.
Jinx.
Dig Trio.
It's Jinx for you.
Jinx. It's straight Jinx. Jinx makes me like I hate the way that Jinx looks. Like it's a terrible design.
Yeah.
Jinx is awful. Diglett or Dig Trio for me because I don't like that we only see their little borbs above the ground. We never see any more of them. That's just cheap. I want to see their underside.
Danny wants to see some Diglett butt.
I need to know what they look like.
Danny wants to see some Diglett butt.
I own them as a trainer. I need to know.
Send your dig pics to Danny Phillips.
Your dig pics. You are 2 for 2 right now.
Thank you so much.
Dig pics. Man, you know what I'm into? Unsolicited dig pics.
Thank God that's not my email.
Danny's new hashtag is hashtag dig pics.
Yeah.
I guess hashtag if you have to follow me.
Because Diglett.
Dig
Yeah.
pics.
Yeah.
Because Diglett.
My least favorite, I'm gonna say Tangela.
Okay.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
That's a good choice. I don't like Tingle either.
I don't really like Tangela.
But I kind of like that its creepy eyes are like black and like you can like see inside.
Its
You're
eyes
like,
aren't black.
I thought they
Its
are.
body is black.
His
The
body's
eyes are
black.
white.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well.
But also, too, one thing that really disappoints me about the original 151 because they screwed up when they made the game is that ghosts are supposed to be strong against psychic types, and they are super not. And that was an error they made, and they could never patch it because that wasn't a thing back then.
Oh.
So yeah, like in the game tells you that like you need to go to the haunted house to get ghosts because they're strong against psychics, and they're just not.
Yeah.
They're actually weak against psychic types. And it's always been very disappointing to me. And I found the same thing about like fighting Pokemon. I was really into martial arts as a kid, and like fighting types aren't good against much.
Except for ground types. And
Yeah,
rock
but
types.
like I have so many other things that are good against that are good against.
I do
other
like that they're
things.
weak against psychic types.
But that's
Yeah, that's
fine.
fine.
That's fine.
Big brain,
but-
beat muscle.
Mind over matter, yeah.
Yeah, but they're just not good against anything else, really. Okay, cool. Awesome. So, we are going to be in San Antonio next weekend.
No, we're not. San Marcos.
We're going to be in San Marcos. Isn't
We're
that
gonna
close
be in
to San?
San Francisco.
We're going to be in Sangria. Just a big old pool of it. But no, we're going to be in San Marcos next weekend doing a con. So if you are local and you want to come and see us, do it! Come and hang out with us. And so we are not going to be having an episode next Sunday.
No episode next time. Okay, don't kiss Corey.
Sorry.
Weird.
I'm
Weird.
sorry.
Blowing in its face.
I'm so sorry.
He's like, it tastes like gingerbread.
For the audio listeners, there's a dog. There's a Toshi. What did I say? And so yeah, we're gonna be doing that. So next weekend we're not gonna be having an episode. Again, if you want to have more content of us, go watch our D&D stream. It's 3 hours, and that'll take you a month to watch it. If you're like me and you watch everything in 10-minute increments.
Increments.
All right, everybody. Follow us, Take One Improv, and me. I'll be at the Christian Eris on all the social medias.
If you have to follow me, I'm Danielle Yoshiko.
And please follow me. Get me on Fallout.
Yeah, remember hashtag Christian for Fallout.
Hashtag Corey for Fallout.
Corey
on Fallout.
Danny Diglett pics.
All right,
Danny
everybody.
Diglett pics.
Have a great week, everybody.
Bye. Toshi, say bye.
Say bye, Toshi. Why are you useless?